Once upon a time, in a small, dusty workshop at the edge of an Italian village, there lived a poor woodcarver named Geppetto. His hands were gnarled like old tree roots, and his beard was as white as fresh snow. He had little in this world, just his tools, his tiny home, and a heart full of dreams he'd long forgotten how to speak aloud. One bitter winter evening, as wind howled through the crooked streets and lamplight flickered against frosted windows, Geppetto received a peculiar gift from his friend, Master Cherry the carpenter. It was a piece of pine wood, ordinary to look at, but it had caused Cherry such trouble, laughing at him, causing his tools to slip, that he'd gladly given it away.
What nonsense! A piece of wood playing tricks? Old Cherry must be going mad in his old age. Still, it's good pine. I shall carve myself a fine puppet, a marionette who can dance and perform. Perhaps I can earn a few coins at the marketplace.
As his chisel bit into the wood, something extraordinary happened. The wood cried out in pain.
Ouch! That hurt. Be more gentle. Ah!
Geppetto nearly dropped his tools, his eyes wide with wonder and fear. But loneliness does strange things to the human heart, and instead of throwing the cursed wood into his fireplace, he continued his work with trembling hands. He carved with care, a head, a body, arms, and legs. He painted on a cheerful face with bright eyes and a wide smile. When the final stroke was complete, the puppet blinked. Its wooden limbs stretched and flexed. It was alive, truly, impossibly alive.
A miracle! A son! I shall call you Pinocchio, my little pine nut.
Pinocchio? Wow, what an ugly name!
And what's this shabby place? I want to go outside. I want to see the world. Before Geppetto could stop him, Pinocchio's wooden legs carried him straight out the door and into the dark, dangerous night. The old man chased after him through the cobblestone streets, calling his name, but Pinocchio only laughed. Pinocchio, catch me if you can, old man. I'm free. I'll do whatever I please. But freedom, Pinocchio would soon learn, came with a price. A carabiniere spotted the commotion and assumed Geppetto was a cruel master chasing a runaway child. The officer arrested the poor woodcarver, leaving Pinocchio alone, truly alone, for the first time in his brief wooden existence. Back in the workshop, Pinocchio sprawled across Geppetto's chair, propping his wooden feet near the dying embers of the fire. As the flames cast dancing shadows on the walls, a small voice spoke from the corner, crisp and wise and deeply irritated.
You foolish puppet! You've brought shame and trouble upon the only person in this world who loves you. Don't you know that children who disobey their parents and run away from home never find happiness?
And who are you to lecture me? A bug? I'll do as I please! I won't go to school, I won't work, I'll spend my days playing and having fun!
Those who think only of pleasure become donkeys in the end. Mark my words, puppet. Every lie you tell, every rule you break, every lesson you refuse to learn will change you. Not on the outside, perhaps, but on the inside, where it matters most.
Pinocchio, in his anger, threw a wooden mallet at the cricket. The wise insect barely escaped into the night, leaving Pinocchio alone with nothing but the crackling fire and his own stubbornness. As he dozed, his feet, still too close to the flames, began to char and smoke. By morning, they had burned completely away. When Geppetto returned from his unjust imprisonment, cold and hungry, he found Pinocchio weeping on the floor, unable to walk. The old man's heart melted at the sight of his son's tears.
Oh, my poor boy, look what's become of you.
He carved new feet from fresh wood, while Pinocchio promised with every fiber of his being, to be good, to go to school, to make his father proud. Geppetto sold his only coat to buy Pinocchio a spelling book, even though winter still gripped the village in its icy fist. But promises, Pinocchio discovered, were easier to make than to keep. On his very first morning walking to school, the sound of drums and trumpets called to him from a nearby street. A puppet theater. The signs promised marvels and magic, laughter and adventure. Everything school was not.
Just a quick peek. I'll go to school tomorrow. One day won't matter to...
He sold his spelling book for 4 pennies and entered the theater, where wooden marionettes danced on strings. But when Pinocchio jumped onto the stage, chaos erupted. The puppet master, a fearsome man named Fire Eater with a beard like black smoke, seized Pinocchio and threatened to use him as firewood.
What's this? A puppet without strings? How peculiar! But no matter, I need wood for my fire and you'll burn nicely.
Oh, please!
My father Geppetto sold his only coat in the winter cold just to buy me a spelling book. And I sold the book for a ticket here, leaving him to shiver without it. Please, he's suffering because of me.
Did Fire Eater's heart soften? He released Pinocchio and even gave him 5 gold coins to take to his father.
Go home, puppet. Love your father. He sacrificed for you.
Pinocchio set off with noble intentions, the coins jingling in his pocket. But fate, or rather a fox and a cat, had other plans. The fox limped on 3 legs, and the cat appeared blind, though both afflictions were pretense.
My dear wooden friend, what luck to meet you. We couldn't help but notice those coins.
Yes, such a lovely jingle.
Did you know about the Field of Miracles?
Oh yes, the Field of Miracles. Plant a gold coin there, water it with 2 buckets from the well, sprinkle a pinch of salt, and by morning, a tree will grow laden with 1,000 gold coins.
Imagine! 1,000 gold coins! I could buy Geppetto a new coat, a warm house, food for a year! Really? 1,000 coins? Then I could give my father everything he needs!
Of course! We only tell you this because you seem like such a good boy. Come, we'll take you there.
They led him to a dark inn where they ate and drank at Pinocchio's expense, then disappeared in the night. Pinocchio, now with only 4 coins left, continued alone to the Field of Miracles. The cricket appeared again, perched on a milestone.
Stop, Pinocchio! Those 2 are nothing but thieves and liars. There's no magic field. You're being fooled.
Pinocchio, angry and defensive.
You're just jealous because I'm going to be rich! Leave me alone!
He buried his 4 coins in the field, watered them, and spent the night in a nearby barn, dreaming of golden trees. But when dawn broke, there was nothing. No tree, no coins, just empty earth and his own foolishness staring back at him. Worse still, the fox and the cat had followed him. Disguised as robbers, they attacked him in the dark forest, demanding his coins. When Pinocchio hid them in his mouth, they tried to hang him from a great oak tree, leaving him swinging in the cold night air, gasping for breath.
Father, I'm sorry. I should have listened.
A beautiful woman with azure hair appeared like moonlight through the trees, the Blue Fairy. She took pity on the dying puppet and laid him in her house, calling 3 doctors, a crow, an owl, and the talking cricket.
In my professional opinion, this puppet is either quite dead or quite alive. In my professional opinion, this puppet is either quite alive or quite dead. In my opinion, this puppet is a disobedient son who will break his father's heart.
The fairy gave Pinocchio bitter medicine, and slowly he recovered. But when she asked what had happened, Pinocchio lied.
I was walking to school when robbers attacked me.
As he spoke, his nose began to grow. With each lie, it stretched longer and longer, until he couldn't turn his head without hitting the walls.
Pinocchio, there are 2 kinds of lies. Some have short legs and can't run far. Others have long noses and are easy to spot. Your lies are written on your face.
I'm sorry! I'm so sorry! I just wanted to make my father rich, to give him everything he deserved.
The road to ruin is paved with good intentions followed by bad choices. You must learn, little puppet, that actions have consequences. Every time you choose mischief over duty, pleasure over responsibility, you grow further from becoming a real boy.
A real boy? You mean I could be real?
When you prove yourself brave, truthful, and unselfish, when you learn to think of others before yourself, then, and only then, can you become what you were meant to be.
The fairy sent Pinocchio home with her dove, and he was reunited with Geppetto. Once again, Pinocchio promised to change. He even went to school for several months, studying hard and making his father proud. But temptation has many faces. A boy named Lampwick, wild-eyed and reckless, befriended Pinocchio with tales of Toyland, a place where children never studied, never worked, only played from dawn till dusk.
Come with me, Pinocchio! In Toyland, every day is a holiday. No teachers, no books, no chores. Just games and fun forever.
Pinocchio, hesitating, thinking of Geppetto's proud smile. I shouldn't. I promised my father.
Are you a baby, tied to his father's apron strings? I thought you were brave.
I'm not a baby!
Pinocchio climbed aboard the wagon to Toyland, leaving Geppetto asleep, leaving his promises behind like yesterday's trash. Toyland was everything Lampwick promised, and nothing good at all. For 5 months, Pinocchio played billiards, ate sweets, and avoided every lesson, every responsibility. But he began to notice strange things. His ears were growing longer, covered with gray fur. His hands were hardening into hooves. One morning, he woke with a donkey's tail.
What's happening to me?
Lampwick appeared, but he too had transformed. His face was stretching into a donkey's snout, his voice becoming a bray. The truth crashed over Pinocchio like a cold wave. The puppet master of Toyland sold them to work in the mines, to pull carts, to spend their lives in labor far worse than school had ever been. But Pinocchio's wooden body resisted the full transformation. Partially donkey, partially puppet, he was thrown into the sea to drown. The fish nibbled away his donkey hide, restoring his puppet form. As he swam desperately toward shore, the cricket appeared on a piece of driftwood.
Well, well. Have you learned your lesson yet, Pinocchio?
I've been such a fool. I've wasted every chance I've been given. My poor father, he sacrificed everything for me. And I made you pay and just want to go home.
Sometimes we must lose everything to understand what truly matters.
But fate had one more trial. A terrible shark, vast as a mountain with teeth like daggers, surged from the depths and swallowed Pinocchio whole. Inside the beast's dark belly, lit by a single flickering lamp, sat an old man in a tiny boat, fishing for scraps. Pinocchio, disbelieving, overjoyed. Father, Geppetto, Pinocchio, my son, I've searched the whole world for you. I was swallowed by this monster while trying to find you. They embraced, wood against flesh, and for the first time in his existence, Pinocchio understood love. Not as a word, but as a fierce, burning truth. His father had suffered for him, sacrificed for him, never stopped believing in him, even when Pinocchio had given him every reason to give up.
Father, I'm going to get us out of here. I'm going to save you, I promise. And this time I'll keep my promise.
The shark slept with its mouth slightly open, allowing a trickle of moonlight to penetrate the darkness. Pinocchio, who had always run from responsibility, now ran toward it. He carried his father on his back and swam through the shark's throat out into the moonlit sea.
Save yourself, son. Leave me.
No! Never! Not this time! Hold on, Father!
He swam for hours, his wooden limbs growing waterlogged and heavy until his arms could barely move. A dolphin appeared, the very one whose child Pinocchio had once helped, and carried them both to shore. They stumbled to a small cottage where the blue fairy, disguised as an old woman, took them in. For months, Pinocchio worked. He woke before dawn to pump water for the farmer who employed him. He wove baskets late into the night, selling them for pennies to buy bread and milk for his ailing father. He studied by candlelight, teaching himself to read properly. Every penny he earned, he saved. Every lesson he learned, he treasured. The cricket watched from the windowsill, saying nothing, but his silence spoke volumes. One morning, Pinocchio woke, feeling strange. He looked at his hands, no longer wood, but warm, pink flesh. He touched his face, soft skin, not painted pine. He was real, truly, completely real. In the corner, the old puppet shell of who he'd been sat slumped against the wall, empty and lifeless. And in the next room, Geppetto stirred, no longer sick, strengthened by his son's devotion.
Who are you?
It's me, Father. I'm your son. I'm finally the boy you always believed I could be.
They embraced, and the blue fairy appeared one final time, her azure light filling the humble cottage.
You have learned the hardest lessons, Pinocchio. That true freedom comes not from doing whatever you please, but from choosing what is right. That every action has consequences. That love requires sacrifice. That becoming real, truly real, means growing beyond selfishness into something greater.
I've learned that the path to happiness isn't avoiding hard things, but facing them with courage. That the only treasures worth having are the ones you greatest magic of all.
And so the puppet who had lied, cheated, and run from every responsibility became a real boy. Not through magic alone, but through the painful, beautiful process of growing up. He learned his lessons not from lectures, but from living them. He found redemption not through perfection, but through perseverance. Years later, people would tell stories of the wooden puppet who became a boy, and parents would tell their children, "Remember Pinocchio. Remember that who you become is not determined by how you begin, but by the choices you make along the way. Every lie leaves a mark. Every unkindness has a cost, but every act of courage, every moment of honesty, every sacrifice made for love. These things make us real." And in that small cottage at the edge of the village, Geppetto and his son lived happily. Not because their lives were easy, but because they had learned what truly mattered. The end.